Hey guys, Adam here with AmericanTrucks.com, and today we're taking a closer look at and installing the Plank Style LED projector headlights with the chrome housing and clear lens, available for the 16 to 18 Silverado 1500 with factory HIDs. Now, if your Silverado came with standard HIDs off the factory line, you might be looking to switch those up to get a better LED upgrade with technology that's going to be a lot brighter, more attractive, and safer at night at the front end of your truck. Now, these headlights in particular have a chrome housing finish on the inside and the outside with the trim, so the chrome trim here matches that chromed out front end from the factory. Now, if you've got paint matched front ends like the LTZ and Z71 options, you might be looking to get some of the stealthier ones like the black housing out there in the category, but this is for the guys looking for the flashier front end. Built into this housing, you're switching over from the factory single projector to a dual projector, separate high and low beam bulbs, both of which are extremely bright, a lot brighter than the factory one. Also, a big difference with this headlight compared to the factory one is the center DRL or daytime running light. This is going to be a bright white LED light bar that'll work in conjunction with your parking lights and headlights to act as a daytime running light on your front end. It's going to modernize the front end of this truck to look a lot like some of the newer gen trucks you see coming off the line with DRLs. In addition to that, you're also getting parking lights down here in pure LEDs that are really bright, vibrant amber, in addition to that corner light here. Those will work in conjunction with your turn signals and hazards, and this will work with your parking lights, as you can see we have on here. Now, what I like about this headlight is it doesn't require you to transfer over any factory bulbs. You don't have to use your factory incandescent turning signal bulb. This is fully built in with a ton of LEDs you can see going across this line. So full, complete upgrade with LEDs, and the projector lights up here are also a good upgrade. Now with this, the price tag comes in right around $1,000 for the pair, so it's not necessarily more of the entry-level option. It's for the guys looking for a pretty serious lighting upgrade. This is a really good technology built in, and these lights are rated to last upwards of 100,000 hours of continuous use, meaning they're gonna last a whole lot longer than factory. Now the install here gets 1 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter. Anybody can tackle this in the driveway at home with about 30 minutes to an hour from start to finish, and I'm gonna show you guys every single step of the process. The only thing you're transferring over from your factory headlight is the paint-matched trim piece at the bottom here, just to make sure it's got that factory fit. I'm gonna show you guys every step of the process. Let's get going. Tools used in the install include an impact gun, 1/4-inch ratchet, shallow and deep 10mm sockets, T15 Torx bit, extension, screwdriver, and a panel removal tool. All right, first step here for the uninstall, we want to pop our hood, grab a panel removal tool. We're going to remove the top radiator shroud here. There's a bunch of little plastic push pin clips. We're going to lift up on the center section, then pop the whole thing off in one piece, and then just repeat that for all of them across the top here. All right, so now you can just lift up on that shroud and set it aside. All right, next up, we got to get our grill out of the way. There's 4 10mm bolts across the top here, so grab your impact gun or your ratchet and get those off. All right, so now we can take our grill off. You may have to put a little bit of firm pressure at the bottom to pull it, but it disconnects on both sides. Set it aside. Now we can access 2 of the bolts holding on our factory headlight here on our driver's side. We have one at the top and one in the bottom corner behind where our grill was. So we're gonna hit this guy at top, grab a 10mm socket and get that off. Now on the bottom inside corner, there's another 10mm. You may need an extension for this one. We do have to gain access to the back of the headlight. In order to do so, we're going into the wheel well. We have 3 T15 Torx screws that we have to get off. One here, and one at the top. I'm gonna use my impact gun and extension along with a T15 bit. Let's get those off. All right, so now we can grab that and peel it back. All right, so next up, the bolt through here is pretty difficult to see, and it's honestly pretty difficult to access. It's underneath, facing the outside of the vehicle, right about here. I'm gonna grab my 1/4-inch ratchet and a small 10mm socket, and I'm just gonna start working this guy off. Again, it's at an awkward angle and it's pretty tough to see, but this is the last bolt. All right, there it is. Now we can pop our headlight off. All right, we actually have one more 10mm bolt at the top here, right on top of this tab on the pinch belt here. All right, last step, let's pull the headlight straight out. And you want to disconnect the connectors on the back of it. Lift up on the red locking tab and pinch it to disconnect. All right, set your factory headlight aside. All right, so we got our factory headlight off of the driver's side of our 16 Silverado LT behind me, and it's on the table here next to our dual projector headlight with the LED DRL. I want to walk you through some similarities and differences here. And first and foremost, in terms of similarities, it's all going to be OEM quality, fit, and finish here. You're going to see the same OEM construction for the housing, impact resistance, the same waterproofing and sealing, so it's dust proof. There's going to be a bigger difference there with design though. It's going to take the factory upper portion of the headlight and go from a single projector to a dual projector for separate high and low beams with them already built into the housing. And the housing all around it is going to be a bright chrome finish. Now that is pretty similar to the factory one. This has a lot of chrome characteristics with it. I will say, however, this does look like a flashier chrome. This is a bit duller and has a lot more fingerprint opportunities on it. This guy here, I think, looks a lot sleeker and a little bit flashier in my opinion. Now, if you're not a fan of the flashy, there is a black version of this as well, which has matte black trim along with a matte black interior. I will say the chrome, however, does leave some of the more visible details and the intricate design of the inside a little bit more visible than the stealthy version. Aside from that, moving down, you'll see that the center section still retains that middle trim separating the upper and lower sections, but inside of that now is going to be a DRL or daytime running light. That's going to be one LED daytime running light that'll operate with your parking lights and when you turn your headlights on, so that's going to be a bright, vibrant finish as well, as opposed to the factory one, which is just a solid piece of plastic. Underneath of that, of course, is your turn signal. Your factory turn signal is just one big amber bar with one incandescent bulb. This is going to be a chrome bar with individual amber LEDs to light up really bright and really vibrant. Overall, technology here is going to be a big step up. You get up to 100,000 hours of use for each individual LED, something that's going to last a lot longer than factory incandescents ever could. With that said, this is going to be a plug-and-play design. We're going to plug it right into the vehicle, but we do have to transfer over the factory bottom paint-matched trim, so let's do that next. All right, so now we can start working on getting our factory trim off. You're going to start from one end, and there are just little tabs clipping it in. There's about 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to start by lifting this guy up, and I'm going to use my screwdriver here to pry up. You can sort of see the tab going through. I'm just going to pry up so that it pops out of the housing. You want to make sure you're not scratching anything. Obviously, ours took a little damage in the past. You just want to make sure if you are using a screwdriver like this, that you're going straight onto the plastic underneath and not damaging any of the finish. So you can see these little tabs in the middle are holding it on, so you're basically putting your screwdriver in and pushing them down so it pops out. All right, so now we have our new headlight on the table. We're basically just going to snap in the old trim, lining up those tabs and put it through. All right, now we can throw this in the truck. All right, so at this point we have one plug. We're just going to pinch these guys together and make sure it connects, and then we can install this into the truck. All right, once you hear that connect, you want to drop the red locking tab and then install this into the truck. Put those factory bolts back through the top, bottom corner, and on the inside, and we'll be good to move on. All right, so let's put those 2 top bolts back through. Now we can do the one in the bottom corner. All right, last one's in the back inside the wheel well liner. So now we're in the wheel well, and again, I know this is really difficult to see, but you're just gonna grab that factory bolt, put your hand back through. It's not too hard to get it to sit in the proper location. Get it in a couple of threads, then grab your socket and tighten it down. All right, so let's bolt the wheel well back up. All right, grab those T15 Torx screws, put them back through by hand, and then tighten them down. All right, repeat the whole process on the other side. All right, so now that we have both sides taken care of, let's throw our grill back on. All right, so now we can bolt our grill back down. All right, so grab your radiator shroud and drop it right back in place. Take those push pin clips, drop them right back in place. All right, shut your hood and we're good to go. That's gonna wrap up my review and install for the Plank Style LED projector headlights in the chrome housing with the clear lens, available for the 16 to 18 HID equipped Silverado 1500s. Get yours right here at AmericanTrucks.com.